Absolutely beautiful day, Bandits. Wild start to the day. Great move in NVIDIA. Absolutely killer, record-setting move here. And we had it in the pre-market. Number one name on our list. We're going to take a look at that, why I liked it, and the other names that I liked and how they did today. So let's go ahead and review the day, review some of the setups, and look at how you could have made money trading off of the morning ideas. Alrighty, so for those who don't know, every day prior to the market starting, I open up and post in Discord. You can see 9:15. I'll post a list of names that I'm looking at and moves that I'm looking to trade. I usually try to keep it thin to about 5-6 names or something like that, just depending on the day. Obviously, number one, NVIDIA. And you can see it right here. If you're part of Discord, you can join and take a look at it. Links in the description. It is free. So, looking at NVIDIA, what I said is it's opening up near support. And I remember I'm writing this early, so when I'm writing it, it's near and a little bit below support. So it's opening up right about, 405.07. So we're opening up. If we get opening up near support, if we get bid up at the open and hold 405, 406, so if as long as you hold here, look for a snap back to 412, then 415. And I said if we snap lower, obviously we didn't snap lower, we went higher. First 2-minute breakout, you could even do 1 minute breakout, never broke down on the 1 minute or the 2 minutes, so you take that first, whichever way you want to play it, and go. So as far as the first 15 minutes, if you're just a 15-minute trader and you got 15 minutes to go and you're not going to sit there all day and trade, I mean, just beautiful hammer right at the open, right through support. We needed to get above 405. We did. Beautiful little 3-point scalp. Well, what's that? About 2-point scalp right off. So if you're just looking for a quick 2 points, a little bit of a pop, you had that. Digestion for a couple of candles. Could have shaken you out, but generally speaking, I like to do if I have a 10-point target, 412, I'm gonna give it at least this first candle, at least half of my risk. So 412 to 415 on a break of 405. We end up going up. The reason I said 412, if you look back, you have a floor trader pivot right there. You have these pivot highs, and the 2-minute 200 was going to be right there. So the first, depending on what the market's going to do, it wasn't as obvious as it is now armchair quarterbacking that it was going to go. But you can tell if it gets bid up and gets back into this range, you're going to test the top of the range. It's just, that's what it's going to do. So you get your move, you take it, right into 412, and then it actually comes up into 415 too. So both targets hit beautifully, and beyond that, obviously, I did not call a 40-point move in the name. I'm probably very rarely going to do that unless this thing gets up to how Amazon used to trade, where it has an ATR like that. But if you're looking at the name and you're wondering points to buy off of strategies and stuff, man, how do I catch these moves? What am I looking for? Well, generally speaking, you have your first 2-minute breakout. If you didn't catch that and you're like, hey, but I like this strong, you have your first green takes red through 407. That gets you to the 2-minute 200, which is 412. And then from there, we continue into 415. You could take the next breakout above that if you wanted to. So there's plenty of, on the 2-minute, there's your setups. On a 5-minute, a quasi inside sidebar here. This would have lined up with a 2-minute. So first digestion on the 5-minute into the 200. Once you got above it, you could take that next breakout. That's really your first inside bar. So waiting for an inside bar break. A lot later in the day there, but obviously the name was strong. Consolidated back. That was also the first time it tested the 8 on the 5-minute. 2-minute. First time it tested the 8, what looks to be the 8 here. Very close to it. Within a few pennies of it, both times. 49, 46, you basically hit the 8 there and pushed off of it, broke out. That would have been your 5-minute. Or this would have been your 5-minute. This was the one that almost broke out. It kind of rejected here and then went a little bit higher. So pulled in through the 8, your first breakout of a bar through the 8 on the 2-minute. So you tag the 8, you come down. First 2 minutes breakout. Plenty of setups here. First 2-minute 21 test. plenty of setups that you can take using basically a 1 bar risk reward. Would have worked on most of these when you get a move like this. So great play, great setup, 1-for-1 on that one. It was my favorite name at the open. I didn't catch the initial pop. I got in a little bit later and played some of it, but I was distracted. It's kind of the downside of running a room or trying to run one. If I'm looking at different stuff, it can make it quasi difficult sometimes. So, murdered that one. Great move. It's up at $45 now or more in the pre-market. So we'll see what it does tomorrow. It'll definitely be on the watch list. There's no telling what they'll do to this name. Meta, plan for the day, opening your support, watch Friday's low. If it holds up, you'll get a snap back to 303, maybe 305. And then talked about the down move for a little bit into Friday's lows. If we snapped lower, look for a move into Friday's lows, and then 301.50. Sorry, Friday's lows and into 298.25. We never went that low. Yeah, we did actually. That was about perfect. So let's take a look at. I actually like this one. I shorted this when we weren't really sure what was happening. This was one of the reasons I missed. This is one of the reasons I missed NVIDIA, or one of the NVIDIA moves. Opening your support. Watch Friday's low. If that holds up, you'll get a snapback to 303. It didn't hold at the open. It actually came in and snapped just hard. I said the first target was 298.25 and then 296.19. If it followed through, you hit 298.25. You're 1 penny off. That's not a bad level. So we almost hit it. It was 1 penny off. You then consolidated, bounced, hit support, came back up, and then on the top side we actually did hit. I said 303 and 305. I think the high for the day. Well, at the end of the day, we went up to 306. So this one was a good play. I shorted it. I didn't play the bounce back. There were NVIDIA and better names. But as far as the levels go, you came into the bottom. I didn't pay attention to the high or low, and we ended up coming back up into 305. So great short there. If the market would have rolled over, I think this one would have been a nice follow through to the downside. We didn't. I didn't even jump back and look at. I didn't even jump back and look at this. So looking at what Meta did, right into 3, you almost hit right into the level, and then back up into 305 and higher. So taking a look at taking a look at Netflix. NFLX was another name on the list. If we break down at the open, get a bearish setup, I think you'll see 415 early, then lower to 412. If we break out at the open, look for 427 and 429. We broke out at the open, so you opened up, you put in a nice drop. This one would have stopped you out. I said that I wasn't going to short it at the open. I was going to wait for a lower high in the pre-market Zoom show that we do. I was going to wait for a higher low, lower high to form, and then take it short if I shorted it. So I didn't take this at the open. It actually reversed, flagged, and then went up to, we actually held up at the open, snapped back. You wedged out, bull flagged, whatever you want to say, and then we went up to 27.50 and actually 29. So this one also worked if you're using the levels that I posted. If you're looking for that kind of move, this one a little bit harder. You would have had to handle the chop, wait for it to set up and go. But we did end up going to those levels. We didn't end up playing there. So there were definitely some opportunities to play these name, and I'd say that's a pretty decent look. There's not too, I think today, just because of the way that the market went, we actually hit a lot of the levels. Microsoft, if you pop the open, look for 324, then it should roll over and go lower. If we snap lower at the open, Friday's lows are the first target, then around 318. If we keep going lower, I think you could see 312. I know that's aggressive, so we'll see. Obviously, we didn't go lower. We held up at the open, and 324. We popped up into 324. So very choppy early. I only shorted this name once, scalped it, and I think I went long once, just kind of scalping it in between some other plays. But we came right up. If you see why I liked it at 24, look left. Look where that line's popping up at. We double topped there twice and actually ended there 3 times. So you had a triple top there on the day. It was a good level. If you're looking for targets, that's a really nice one as far as calling a level that we stopped at. So if you did take that long on any of the breakouts after we broke the opening range, usually, what did I say we need to get above? I just said if we pop at the open, I didn't have a buy level, so chopped around for a while, ended up breaking out and going higher, and move to 324. So as far as levels go, not too shabby. And Tesla, we had a nice big gap down. This is one that I took long a couple times and played it up into the 50% retracement, especially after it broke out. The plan was the gap down. The gap down makes this harder. If we pop at the open, going to look for 50% retracement around 240 is where I thought that would be in the pre-market when I guessed it would be around 240. It was the 50% wasn't, but the target did come up to about 240. So as far as what we moved to, then see how it acts. If we roll over after a pop, look for 333. If we snap lower at the open, look for the same target, 233.50 and maybe 230 on follow through. So if the market would have rolled over, failed at the open, I was looking for this to come in, to come down, to test the lows, and then 30, 32. So as far as what we actually did at the open, we did come in 30, 35. The low on this was 33.75. I said if you snap at the open from where we if we drop at the open, you were going to tag that first, and then I wanted to see how everything reacted there. We ended up popping. We tagged it. We hammered. We ended up coming back up into 240, which was my long target in the name, or the 50% retracement. For how I drew it from the open print to the fill, if you did it like this, you were looking at 39.08. So that was the 50% retracement, about a point lower than 240. So, as far as calls go and what I'm looking for in a move today, I would say that most of the ones today did pretty good. I'd say most of the ideas that I had, just from looking at the charts and from different stuff that you guys have talked about, worked out. And pretty happy with the day. I wasn't on the mic a ton. I had to run back and forth and had to set some positions that I just kind of had auto set, and it actually ended up being pretty decent. Thanks in part to NVIDIA and Tesla. These were the two ones. Everything else was smaller scalps. And then, this running at 240 was a nice. I had a trailing stop that didn't get triggered until over here around 39. So that was nice, and NVIDIA was just continuing to run. So can't complain too much. If you guys, if there's more information you want in these calls or ways that I can make the calls better, let me know. If there are comments or if you traded any of the ideas that I had and you made money on them, let me know. Let me know what levels helped. Let me know what didn't help. Let me know if there's something I'm doing that's like, I just can't get behind why you're doing this, or can you help me understand something? I'd love to improve what I'm doing. I'd love to improve the call outs. So I do want to continue to get better at this. I thought today, as far as looking for the bounce at the open, was the main idea. I think the number one name for me was NVIDIA, and it worked great. It's still going. I wish that I was still in it. Is what it is. It was a very busy day today. I did not capitalize as much as I should. August was going to be slow for me. I have a lot going on outside of here, but I do plan on hitting it a lot more and being a lot more active as the month goes on and as we get into next month. So I appreciate it, and I'd appreciate any that you guys can throw on this. If you think the callouts were good today, if you think the levels were good and they worked, I'll keep sharing them. I'll keep trying to help you guys find trades in the morning. That's the hardest thing as a new trader, right? Is finding trades. What works, what doesn't work, where things going to do today. If you're watching these shows, you can see this stuff is posted every single day early. I give you my ideas of where things are going to go, and then I try to give you the trades that I'm taking as best I can. My number one responsibility, because it's not a paid room, really is for me, but I am doing everything I can to try to help others and to help you guys see what I'm seeing so you can improve. And then as you improve and we're all improving together, we're all getting better, we're all helping each other make money, and it's just I think a great way to be as a trader. So I appreciate your support. I appreciate you watching this video. Let me know again in the comments if you like if you like these call outs, and if any of the levels that I'm posting daily help you guys make money. I appreciate you. Cheers again. Absolutely great. Let's say Monday. Yeah. Absolutely great Monday. Did not expect that much of a snapback. So you got to take it when you can get it. We'll come in tomorrow. We'll be clean. Whatever the market does, we'll be ready for it. We're going to trade the charts, not our emotions, and we'll continue to make money. So have a great rest of your evening, bandits, and I will see you all tomorrow.